Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down a really fundamental shift in how to think about money, moving from someone who works for money to someone whose money works for them. So let's just start with a crucial question that gets right to the heart of financial freedom. Are you trading your time and energy for money? Or have you built a system where your money is out there working for you 24/7, even while you sleep? Your answer really defines your entire financial reality. To understand the destination, where we want to go, we first have to get real about the starting point. And for most of us, that's what's known as the work for money trap. You know, the financial world is pretty much divided into two very different camps. And get this, a staggering 95% of people are in the group that actively works for money. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but it can be exhausting. Only a tiny 5% have figured out the secret to making their money work for them instead. This idea comes from the famous cash flow quadrant. On the left side, we have the E for employee. Pretty straightforward, you have a job. And the S for self-employed, where you basically own your job. So whether you're a doctor, a freelance artist, or an online seller, you're on this side of the line. Now, what's really interesting is that both employees and the self-employed, they share this one critical vulnerability. We call it the time-money link. Your income is directly connected to the hours you put in. So if you stop working, maybe for a vacation, an illness, anything, that income stream just stops. That's the core weakness right there. So what about the other side of the quadrant? This is where the mindset shifts completely. It's not about earning an income anymore. It's about owning assets. On the right side, we've got B for business owner and I for investor. A business owner doesn't just own a job, they own a system where other people work. Think about a platform, a network, or a franchise. And then you've got the investor, where your money itself becomes your employee, working hard to generate even more money for you. And that distinction is everything. A worker uses their time to make money. An investor uses their money to make money. See, it's not about working harder, it's about playing a completely different game. Okay, this all sounds great, but it naturally leads to the big question. How do you actually get from the left side to the right? How do you build that bridge? The journey isn't some magical leap. It's actually a step-by-step process of building up your financial leverage. You might start out as an employee, learning discipline. Then you might move to being self-employed to increase your income. From there, you can use that extra income to build a business system. And finally, you use the profits from that system to become an investor, acquiring long-term assets. And here is the part that is so important and honestly the most overlooked part of the journey. The B, the business owner, is the bridge. Very few people can just jump straight from having a job to being a full-time investor. First, you need to build a system that generates cash flow. That system is your bridge to the investor side. But crossing that bridge isn't just about the mechanics of it. It's about a fundamental shift in your mindset. It's about learning to play the investor's long game. A true investor thinks so differently from someone just chasing quick profits. They don't try to get rich quick or rely on a single income stream. No. Instead, they focus on slowly accumulating valuable assets, diversifying their risk, and holding things that have a real future. It's all about quiet, steady stability, not flashy wins. And this mindset is more critical now than it has ever been. I mean, with the rise of AI, a lot of jobs that rely on just trading your labor for money are becoming more and more vulnerable. Having a system and owning assets isn't just a path to wealth anymore. It's becoming a form of financial self-defense. So let's make this concrete. How would this mindset apply to a modern financial platform? We'll just use a hypothetical tool. Let's call it Oxcash NFT Pro as our example. The thing is, the platform itself is neutral. How you use it is what determines which quadrant you're in. So if you're just buying and selling for a quick profit, you're operating as an S, a self-employed seller. But if you're building a team and a network on the platform, you're acting like a B, a business owner creating a system. And if your goal is to accumulate tokens as a long-term asset, well then you're thinking like an I, an investor. So ultimately, the tool itself is neutral. It's your mindset that dictates the outcome. Your approach is what determines whether this is just another source of active income for you or if it's a powerful engine for building long-term wealth. This brings us to the final takeaway, which really distills this whole philosophy down into 4 simple steps. First, use tools to build a system. Second, use that system to accumulate assets. And what's the ultimate goal? To stop chasing money and instead build a structure where money starts coming to you. It is so crucial to remember None of this happens overnight. This is not a sprint to get rich. It's a marathon of patience. In this game, the patient player is the one who ultimately wins. So we'll leave you with this question to think about. Look ahead 10 years. Do you see yourself still on the left side of that quadrant, trading your time for money? Or will you be on the right side, with systems and assets working for you? The path is there for everyone. It just requires the decision to start walking.